Hello guys, welcome back to Rockstar UK. Currently with Ryan at the moment. Say hi, Ryan.
Hey guys.
So this is going to be part 2 of the ATR harness wiring on for a GY6 Honda Ruckus. If you want to see the first part of the video, head over to Burnout Bobby channel. I'll put a link in the description so you can just literally click on it and go. We basically laid the loom out, cut off any excess bits that we didn't need on that particular loom for the application that it's going on. And now we're going to get into actually laying it on the bike, start terminating the connections at where they got to go, and we're just having a nice sort of chill out in the garage with all the bikes. And I have to say I'm getting quite used to being here as well. So let's should we roll the cinematics or should we give them a rundown first?
We can give them a brief rundown.
We'll give you a rundown first. Okay, so we got Ryan. We're currently laid the loom underneath the gas tank. I'm starting to call it American things now. Underneath the petrol tank, and literally just drooped it over the bike, as you can see. So Ryan is, do you want to tell us what you're doing?
I'm going to try to find out different ways to run this wires and make it the cleanest so that it doesn't look like a hot mess, like a rat's nest underneath the battery box here. Just so if he ever has to take the box off, everything will be accessible to him. If he does have to change the external components like the regulator, the CDI, different parts like that, so it's going to be really easily available and then just look good. I did the same setup basically for Motonicity about a year ago, and the harness has been great for him, so I'm just trying to do the same thing for this guy, and hopefully it works out. And usually it takes me about 4 or 5 different ways of running it to find what I like best. So
it's literally just mocking it up, seeing where it best fits, and then you can start terminating, I guess.
Yeah, cool. Go through it and start taking stuff out and make sure that everything that he has I can work with, you know, like there's nothing extra that's going to get in the way.
I guess you got to look at like the let's say the ancillary bits, so such as like your lights. Obviously we said about in the first video, we said about the push button start's going to be under the seat.
Yeah, so I had to run, typically the push button start is the right control, which is somewhere in these wires.
That would normally be like incorporated within the battery box, wouldn't it? Up here somewhere. So you've had to run additional wires all the way through along.
Yeah, so I had to flip it, run it back through the whole harness, back out, and that's essentially this orange and blue wire, which I have extra of here, and then I'll make a little loom for it to come up and connect to this button here. And I'll, of course, once it gets back here, I'm gonna find a way to run this harness to keep it clean, because I don't like just wires going straight up.
Yeah, and we'll wrap all of that stuff and that as we go through it. So obviously when we start putting the power on, we should have the little LED on this relay, and I guess when you press the button and stuff, you should hear like the starter click in and those sort of bits.
That's the hope for it, right?
Okay, well, let's roll the cinematics. So I just want to say, this is one thing people don't realise when they think putting these rucks together is easy. I mean, I've been watching Ryan do this for, must be what, an hour and a half now?
Yeah.
And the amount of patience it requires to get this right and get it tidy, but it's also getting those connections like so that they're not going to break, so they're reliable. And as you can see,
I can show them how good it is right now.
yeah, so this is, I just want to say, like, the back end of the bike is not wired yet. This has all got to be terminated. It's no grounds. The only ground is the one on the frame around here and the one on the battery. So
that LED right there technically shouldn't turn on.
yeah, you can see that it turns on.
It's on.
And that's all because of, oh, we lost focus. That's all because of the time that Ryan's put into making this front section of the loom nice, neat, tidy, and all the connections terminated properly. Would you say?
Yeah.
So would you say most of the work is in the battery box, and then the back of the bike shouldn't take that much to do?
There's probably like another 20 minutes left up front here, and then after that we move to the back, and that will probably take us maybe another 35 minutes. That'll be pretty quick. But the front we probably spent, what do you think altogether? We had about 2.5 hours yesterday.
Yeah.
What do you think, an hour and a half so far today?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, so that's 4 hours. We're into it right now, and then maybe another hour to go. So
we haven't even put the pipe back on. We haven't. Has it got gas? So if it's got gas in it, and
It's got gas.
so it's got gas, then also got to prime the float bowl, and then potentially it could start.
Well, today I think we're just gonna check the starter, make sure it kicks over.
Yeah, make sure it kicks.
Because still have to shim the valves because I don't know what the clearance is. This is a 171, and he put it together, but he didn't shim the valves. He wanted me to do it just to make sure it was done correctly. So we can at least turn it over real quick just to have the starter hit.
Yeah, so basically you can make sure all your electrical connections are
And we'll have to
terminated.
pull the spark plug out and put it in the coil. And when it's out of the motor, we can see that at least it's getting spark. So we know it's getting spark. The fuel thing we can do, it's a vacuum pump. So once the carb starts running or pulling vacuum, then that's fine. So we'll check for spark once we finish up the front here, and then go from there.
Okay. So Ryan's working his magic still at the moment. He's tidied up a lot of the loom and he's working his way sort of like around the bike slowly. And over here so much to do. So we had to take the exhaust off so we could get this shroud off, so we can access all of this wiring for the stator. We've also just taken the starter motor connection off. There is something you have to keep, which is, come on autofocus. Hang on, if I put it on the table it'll autofocus. There we go. You have to keep that little tab, which comes off of the connector that's already there. So you just literally give it like a snip line and just give it a wiggle and that'll snap off. Yeah, guess we'll just carry on.
Oh.
That's staying in. Alright, so it's getting a little warm in the garage at the moment. It's wet in buckets. It's quite warm in here tonight. So basically I've just taken off like the third exhaust that I've done today. So got the Yoshi pipe, which is a lovely exhaust. It's the same as one that I've got on my bike, which I did a video in I think it was a few weeks back. So if you want to know how to install it, either look on my channel or go onto the Rock Shop channel, and you get an in-depth video on how to install that. Didn't bother putting it in this one. So Ryan is still working his magic at the moment. Here is the rock guard in his natural environment.
Alright, so I'm just finished up right now. I just put this temporary ground to the back of the starter. I'm going to cut this down, make it flush, put a new fitting on it like I did with the start cable there. I don't know if we can show you. I followed the stretch bar with the loom so it stays nice and tight. So when you're looking at it from the outside, how most people do, it'll look black minus the coil hanging on the ground.
So we followed the stretch bar along here, so it keeps it all sort of like tucked.
Yeah, like a semi tuck.
This wire here at the moment is going down to the coil pack, which then is going to the spark plug at the moment. So we're going to basically see if the starter motor turns over and this man's good work works.
If I can do it first try. I got a lot of faith. I've done a few of these. So it's just each one is different.
One or two.
One or two. So we'll put the key in.
Right, we'll
make sure we get a good spark here, and then we'll listen for the starter motor. If that happens, the spike's going to start, and we can go ahead and tidy everything up.
Right, can you see the spark plug? Yep.
I'll just need the key over here.
Oh, I got the key.
Next to you on the floor.
At least he's got a good key tag.
Wendy's. Oh, you're talking about the Ruck Shop. I saw the Wendy's frosting.
Not your Wendy's.
Alright, so
right.
key on, clear relays good.
Let's have a look at the spark plug.
Brake switch. Alright, ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, it's arcing right here.
Yeah, beautiful spark.
And it's sparking right here too. Off the nut.
Yeah, probably will do.
That's it.
So, yep, she turns over. Well, you heard that. We're getting a good spark there. So, really, it's just a case of, I guess, tidy it up.
Yeah.
Well, we've done most of it, but finish tidying it up, put the exhaust back on, and then technically it can run.
Yeah, I just gotta shim the valves, really. I mean, and you can put the exhaust for the fourth time today.
For the fourth time today, putting the exhaust on.
Yeah, you're getting good at it.
Yeah, I'm getting good at that Yoshi pipe.
Open up a exhaust shop in England, right? I only do Yoshis. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and get that started.
They've got me doing exhausts, and I think I've detailed nearly every bike in the shop now, haven't I? So Ryan was saying, we're going to buy the shop next door and just set me up in there as doing detailing.
6 months a year on a work visa.
Yeah, just come over with a work permit. Anyway, are we going to close out the video here?
Yeah, we can wrap it up because this is about done and get ready to go.
Alright, so from us, we'll see you guys in the next video.
Yeah, I think the next one will be the Vento.
Oh, the start up of the Vento. Anyway, good night guys.